What's up, everybody? This is Bunny the Snuggle Bunny. Thank you so much for hopping in on another one of my videos. So today we're going to be talking about the faction wars, and of course, as a lot of you may already know, there's been quite a few changes that have happened since the last faction wars hit. So one of the things that have changed is, well, we're not getting any new weapons. That is not a glitch, which a lot of people think. That's a change that Destiny had decided, Bungie had decided to change. So we are no longer getting new weapons, and I'll be going over that here in just a little bit more towards the end of the video as to what actually is going to be happening with that. So we aren't getting any new weapons, and then also what has changed is kind of the glitches that we've done in the past that have helped us get a lot of those faction tokens. So what I decided to do was go through and figure out a lot of specifics on those events and let you guys know what amount of tokens that you're looking at per event to help you guys figure out what best works for you. So one of the things that I have found out, of course, going, like normally going and doing the glitch, I believe almost everybody had done that over on EDZ, the Winding Cove. A lot of people were going down into that area and feeding off on doing the lost sector there, and then going into the tunnel, which we'll be seeing here in another one of my later on in my video. We'll be seeing that. Going down into the tunnel and then going back to the chest. So Bungie decided that they're trying to fix that, and so one of the things, the major thing that they had changed is that for doing lost sectors, it takes about 10 minutes before you can do a lost sector 2 times, and then after that, you have to wait another 10 minutes before you can go and do a lost sector and get faction tokens from that. So a little tricky. So that kind of removes the glitch a little bit. So one thing that I had found out is that by doing things like strikes, strikes usually get like 5 to 10 tokens, takes you it can kind of alleviate from like 20 minutes. You can do heroic strikes where you can get 7 to 9 tokens every so often. That takes about 15 to 20 minutes. And then I also found out that by doing the heroic strikes, I typically got 2 out of 5 legendaries during this event. Now, when it isn't during the event, I'm usually getting out of 3 of the heroic strikes that I do, I typically get an exotic drop. If not for sure a legendary. So you can also do the Nightfall. You can get 10 to 18 tokens if you've completed it that for the very first time on one of your characters. That typically takes about 20 minutes, and you're normally looking at about 10 tokens there. Raids last for freaking ever, depending on the squad that you have, and out of that, you only get 5 tokens. Woohoo! I'd say that's real fun. Heroic events. Now, that you can get 5 tokens typically. Every so often, though, you can get more drops from those tokens, too. So, at one point, I had gotten 15 plus 5. At one point, I had also gotten 5 plus 2, 5 plus 1, just kind of varies. Now, crucibles, if you lose, the tokens that you get, only 2. Boo. If you win, you get 5 tokens. Now, taking into consideration how long those events take, 5 tokens, not too long. Now, then there's also lost sectors. They only give you 3 tokens. Now, the thing with that is they've changed the lost sectors, and that was one of the funnest things that I like to do is the lost sectors. It didn't seem to take me very long to complete the lost sector, and I still felt like I was pretty busy, and I didn't have to go and get my ass whooped in Crucible in order to get some tokens. And it didn't matter if I won or not, I still got the guaranteed number that I was supposed to get. Crucible, like if you lose, it's not really reliable for me. I don't really like that. So, what I had found out, when I was first starting out, I loved absolutely doing heroic strikes. I thought, sweet, it doesn't take me that very long. I can usually get 7, sometimes I can push out 9. I thought, sweet sauce, I really like that. And then I kind of started thinking more about, well, is that the most productive way of spending my time? And as you can see right here, I get 9 tokens. That's freaking awesome. But you don't always get that. And then, of course, that was also one of the times where I'd gotten a legendary. But what I thought that works the best, okay, you can go and do lost sectors too. Now, the thing is with that, like I was saying earlier, if you go and do a lost sector, you can only claim a chest twice, and then after that, you're screwed for 10 minutes. So for me, when I went and did it, I had heard that some people it was taking 10 minutes, some people it was taking 15. For me, I got screwed over hardcore, and no matter what I did, I had to wait 20 to 25 bloody minutes before I could go and open up another freaking chest and actually get something out of it. So, what I decided that I was going to do is see if the Winding Cove still worked. And it does. So, what I did is I went and did the Winding Cove, killed the boss, which you're going to see that I do here shortly. Hurry up and whoop his butt, bunny. Come on, girl. How long does it take to whoop his butt? Apparently quite a while for me. Heavy! Use your heavy! Come on, whip out your heavy. What are you doing? Well, see, at least I got a token right there. And that was one thing that I'd also noticed too, is that like while doing lost sectors, you do get random token drops. That's kind of nice. But then I also noticed that you can get that while you're doing public events as well. So, but only 3 tokens from doing lost sectors. Here I had obviously already just gotten 3, so that was really cool. And I don't know why I'm not whipping out my freaking rocket launcher to take him out. Like, why am I being persistent on using my... Yeah, on using my Nameless Midnight. Why am I doing that? Why? Anyways, so kill the boss, go and grab that chest, and I went and still did what everybody else used to. Come on. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, I gotten those 3 extra tokens. That was awesome. Picked up 3 more. Bam. And I'm going to go down this hallway, and I kind of noticed the door was already open for me. It's kind of creepy. Normally, when I was last doing this for the Faction Wars, another token. That, it never really was open for me unless somebody, like, had just walked through it. So then you come back to the chest. Open her up. More tokens. 3 more tokens. So then I thought, you know what, let's see if this is really going to work. So I jumped into another part of the EDZ. Figured I would go and do another lost sector and kind of see what happens. And of course, this is over at the atrium and the lost sector down below. Oh my gosh, the guy with the mustache. Oh, brain fart. Can't remember his name. So what I had found out is that doing the lost sectors, it's kind of nice to do them here and there, but as you know, as I had already come across and told you, is that for me it was taking 20 to 25 minutes, quite a while that I had to wait before I could open up another chest in lost sectors. So I got absolutely nothing out of that. So no point in me doing lost sectors. So what I found that was really productive is going into the Winding Cove area, doing the lost sector, going up that hallway, going back down, getting that chest, and then coming up to a public event here, finish the public events, get 5 tokens, and then of course jump back up into orbit after I'm at that chest, and then hopefully I can get into another event and be able to acquire the chest again. Now I couldn't always do that, but I could do it here and there. Wasn't very reliable though. Sometimes I would find myself back in where I'd first started, and I couldn't even have access to the chest because then it told me that I needed to have participated in the events. And also, I found it slightly difficult to do when you had somebody that was in your party, when you had friends with you that you were gaming with. So, makes it a little tougher having to go back into another instance when you have friends that are waiting for you. Very hard to do, actually. So, I got 5 tokens here. Didn't get any extras in this instance. Um, but I found that that was a really good place to go and farm those tokens was by doing the Winding Cove, uh, Lost Sector, going up that tunnel, going back into the Lost Sector, claiming that chest twice, so getting 6 tokens. But as you saw, I got way more than that. And then going up and doing the public events. And then, of course, I had to wait 20 to 25 minutes because I got screwed, unlike everybody else. And so then typically I found out that it was like 2 to 3 more public events that I had to do before I could go back down into a lost sector and redo the same thing. So for the bang of my buck, um, I'm sorry, bang of my buck. Really, I'm not spending any money. Hello. Anyway, so for my time well spent, I can't really talk right now. What I found was the heroic strikes are great. You know, like I'd said, 15 to 20 minutes to complete those. The heroic events, though, maybe took me 7 minutes. Didn't take me long at all. Did not take me long at all to do those. Lost sectors typically took me about 4 minutes, actually like 3 to 5 minutes, maybe. So take that into consideration. 7. All right. It's still under how long it would take me to do a heroic strike, and going back down and getting double the chest. 6 plus 5. Come on. I only got like 9 out of heroic strikes, or maybe 10 out of just regular strikes. I felt like it was just a little bit more productive for me to do it this way. So, also another thing that I found out is milk those Cabal events, public events. Awesome. So another thing was go and do the public events where the Cabal are. So best places for doing that is right here on IO, going down into this main area here, and doing the public events, grabbing the chest, going back up into orbit, shooting back down, grabbing the chest again. Or you could go to the EDZ Winding Cove, do the public events, do the same thing. So you could kind of do, like maybe come down here to the Winding Cove, do the Lost Sector, grab the chest twice, come here to the public events, and then go to IO, and then go and do that public event, go up into orbit, grab that chest. I'm sorry, go up into orbit and try grabbing the chest again without having to complete a full public event there on IO. That seemed to work pretty good. I ended up getting quite a bit of tokens versus just doing strikes or crucibles. And crucibles, I just wasn't really reliable for me. Like, really, I'm gonna go and get my ass whooped, get into like a team that might not be so good because my like regular fire team for crucibles is non, and get screwed for nothing because I didn't have any friends on. Wow. Only 2? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Versus doing the public events, it seemed a lot faster and a lot easier. Most effective, yeah, for the time spent in having to do it. Um, so that was what I had found out. For the um, for the Cabal events that I had found that seemed to be really great for doing this. You do have Winding Cove, which is where I'm at right now. Then there's IO, which is where I was previously just a little bit ago. Then there's Nessus Artifacts Edge. Here, as you can tell, another Cabal event, and I love just killing this Cabal. I love killing them Cabals. So easy to kill them. So easy to kill them. I mean, there's just not, it's not really that big of a pain in the ass. And all you have to do really to make the events heroic is just take down the ship. How hard can you get? It's not like a taken events where it just kind of gets a little, just kind of draws out. These aren't too long. And like I said, they typically take about 4 minutes. Not even really that long. Yeah, 4 minutes, usually. And if you're in, with strangers, I mean, all you have to do is just take down the ship yourself just to make sure that it gets to be a heroic. I mean, how can you can't really screw that up. I mean, really, all you have to do is just aim, get good, get good. So complete the public event, go grab that chest, fast travel back up to Artifact's Edge, and then of course make your way down to the chest again, and of course you'll get um, double the tokens by doing that. So you would have ended up just having 5. If you catch it correctly, you can get 5 more. And one thing that I had noticed is sometimes when I was doing a heroic event, sometimes I got 7, sometimes I got 15 plus 5. You're just crazy. I would always get that 5, but sometimes I would get extras. And I'd say that it was like one out of 2 heroic events that I was doing, I was getting those extra tokens. So that was kind of nice. I felt like I was getting a little bit of extra for the work that I was doing. So I didn't have any qualms with that. So I also enjoy doing public events over at Exodus Black. I found out while I was doing this, like, I don't know what it was, but I was looking at the servitor, and the servitor just looks a little different to me. Like, it just looks kind of a little bit more stealth looking. Like, that purple just looks really cool. Did it change, or am I just crazy? Am I losing my mind? Hmm. So there's a lost sector over here. I tried doing the little glitch with, going and killing the boss and going back to another, going back to like the entrance of the cave where the name changes and then going back down. That didn't work for me. Didn't work so well for me. So yeah. And I tried that quite a few times, figuring, oh, I just maybe have to try it again. No, it didn't work at all. So all I had gotten when I was trying to do it was just those, excuse me, just 3 tokens. Woo! But if you're waiting, if you're getting a little sick and tired of doing public events, or hell, crucibles, strikes. I mean, what is so bad with dropping down into a lost sector every so often? Hopefully, you don't have to wait 25 minutes like I freaking had to. But, go and do that over at Winding Cove or something, and then go grab those 6, and then go and do a public event and get back at it again. I mean, it's better than sticking with just doing public event after 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 public event. Like it gets so monotonous. It's always nice to kind of transition it up. And yeah. So yeah, Bungie had decided that because the glitch. Yeah, see, as you can see there, I got quite a bit. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. 5 plus 4 plus 1, super dope. Anyway, so because a lot of people were doing that glitch, they had to make a few changes. So they decided to allow you to only accumulate 10. I'm sorry, 2 chests within 10 minutes, but that changed, of course. Here I decided to show you, we have some new monarchy. We get ornaments, nothing else. The Leonine cursor, is it Leonine? I think it's Leonine. Leonine shell, Leonine ship. And here we get a really cool look at it too. I just love how that lion head looks. It just looks so neat to me. And so what I'm doing here is I'm showing you what all of the ornaments look like. We don't get any new weapons, very disappointing. That was not a glitch, that was just one of the changes that they had decided to make. We're not getting any more weapons. We're getting ornaments. So if it wins, if New Monarchy wins, we get the Liquider 4? Loquitter. Loquitter. I'm pretty sure it's Loquitter, because it wouldn't be Loquitter. Loquitter. Whatever. Anyways, auto with ricochet rounds, appended mag, alloy magazine, and high impact reserves. That one looks pretty good. This is the new Monarchy gear on a warlock. Now, of course, they only have a female character, so I'm only going to show you what it looks like on a character, but males are close. They just look a little differently. And then we have what it looks like on a Titan, and I gotta say, it looks quite dapper. It looks very nice. Looks very, very nice. I like it quite a bit. So no new gear. We get old gear, just ornaments for our gear. So what's going to happen is throughout season 2, we're going to get 5 new weapons. Now, with the 5 new weapons, they're not immediately earned through getting those faction engrams. And now you'll see I have the Future War Cult gear on the Hunter. Comes with the War Cult in-game shader. Truth Scraper, Sparrow, Bone Grip, Ship, Wars to Come, Ghost Shell. And it looks kind of cool. I like it. I like how that looks. There's the Bone Grip Ship. Just a little bit closer so you can see what it looks like. I think that looks cool. And then we have the Truth Scraper vehicle. The Sparrow. Looks okay. I've seen prettier. I do like the shader though. And then the weapon that you get if FWC wins is the Doubt. Comes with hit mark, red dot 2 MOA, rifle scope SS4, tactical mag, high caliber rounds. Those are nice. Snapshot sights. I dig it. Next, we have the FWC Warlock. Doesn't she look fantastic today? She just looks so super. Looking good, girl. I kind of look like a doctor. A little bit. Then here's the Titan gear for everybody to see. Looks a little bit kind of like the IO gear slightly. The legs kind of look a little bit like the IO legs that I've seen before. So, here we have the Dead Orbit. Looking good. So, with every, when the new faction wars start, the only weapon that you get to choose is the one, or the only weapon that you get is the one that wins. And then the next time that you'll see that weapon is when the next set of faction wars start, and then that weapon can become available to you. Right now, though, all we're looking at is the older weapons, and then the only weapons that we can possibly even look forward to seeing is the one weapon that might win for us, depending on our faction. So hopefully you get to choose, or hopefully you choose the, or that you have chosen the winning faction, and then you can get that winning weapon. If not, you'll have to wait until the next faction war to be able to even get that. Isn't that ugly? That pale horse just does not look good. So, yeah. Faction Wars, we have 5 new weapons that are coming out, but they're not immediately available to us. We only see one weapon, and we'll just have to see, is it going to be Hollow Earth? Is it going to be New Monarchies, the Low Quitter 4? Is it going to be the Doubt from FWC? Dead Orbit's Hollow Earth? I mean, what is going to win? I have no idea. So we'll just have to see what happens and go from there. But are you guys very happy that it's now a fashion war instead of really faction wars where you get cool, badass weapons? I mean, is it so hard for them to be able to create new weapons, and if they run out of weapons, make more weapons for us to use? I mean, I'm grinding all this much for a shader for ornaments. I mean, the ornaments are freaking cool. I do like them, and there's specifics that you have to do to get those. But really, Destiny, really, Fashion Wars, if I wanted something like that, I would go back, oh my gosh, I would go back a few years and go play with my fucking Barbies.